Tonight on News 5 Live, an emotional testimony from a distraught primary school teacher goes viral. Water contamination in San Vicente village sickens 6 persons, and 1 man is taken into police custody. And the tug-of-war between the membership of management of St. Francis Credit Union continues. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, Smart Stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
Toyota responds. Toyota always responds. When you buy a Toyota from an official dealer, you not only get the most accurate car for your country, but also the best companion in every step of the journey. Getting your Toyota at official dealers brings you closer to original spare parts, to top maintenance, to the most specialized service. But most importantly, you will never be alone. Get your Toyota in an official dealer and we will always be there for you. Toyota.
Staying connected with your loved ones while traveling is even more important during this global pandemic. With Digi, this is even easier and more convenient with our data roaming plans. Postpaid customers have instant access to mobile data within 41 destinations worldwide. With 3 affordable plans, starting at only $28, it's easy to instantly connect via your favorite digital platform. To purchase your data roaming plan, contact Digi before your travel date. If you are already abroad, you can contact us via email at digihelp@livedigi.com or via WhatsApp at 608-8888. For more information, visit our website at livedigi.com/digicel or visit a Digistore near you. You can roam, stay safe, and stay connected with Digi.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5 Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, May 17th. I am Sabrina Daly. It was the shot that was heard across the education sector. An emotional teacher suffering a breakdown on social media as she shared her story of alleged victimization at St. Luke Methodist School. For 14 minutes, a tearful primary school teacher whose Facebook handle is Avila Teresita detailed her experience about the day-to-day challenges she is made to face by her administrators. It's a black eye for the school, as well as a wake-up call for other teachers who are going through similar ordeals at their respective institutions. We begin our newscast this evening with a story that has gripped many. News 5's Isani Cayetano reports.
Across the education system, Teachers have taught their students about the dangers of bullying. Intimidating a weaker person often leads to undesirable consequences, including emotional and mental breakdowns, and even suicide ideation. So when a primary school teacher came forward on Monday evening with a social media post painfully describing an ordeal that appears to be a case of victimization, it had the rapt attention of many.
We're right here because I'm tired. And I don't know how much I could take anymore dealing with these people here and their vindictiveness. So, you know, you have to, you go to school with your mind made up that it's your job, you do your best. I've always been that type of teacher. I have never find myself to be one teacher know I want to do her job. Her have problem doing her job. Her doesn't do it to the best of her ability because that's not me.
When Joanna Isagiri took to Facebook Live last night, followers on the popular social media platform were not prepared for the anguish that the educator would share about the challenges of her profession, made all the more difficult by the administration at St. Luke Methodist School. In her post, Isagiri discusses, among other issues, being called into the principal's office about a signed letter from an attorney with respect to the use of facilities at the school during the pandemic.
She started to talk about the letter. I mean, signed the letter from the liar. And the liar me wrong and how me I go tell the liar how blatant lie that we had to call the office for use bathroom, but that's not blatant lie. That me the truth. We may have to call office. That was told that we have to call office for use bathroom during the COVID time. And that, and we lie and make a mistake.
According to the teacher, whose post has received as many as 68,000 views and 1,000 comments overnight, she consulted with an attorney because she genuinely felt that a decision to subject her to the classroom during her lunch break impinged on her personal time.
I signed on to the letter of getting that liar. Yes, I did, because I felt that my rights was infringed upon when people vote for me. I have to stay in our classroom during lunchtime, and then my lunchtime get cut half an hour. And then I can't leave the compound at no time during lunchtime. I just felt like that are my right for me to have my 1 hour lunch and where and how I wanted my hour lunch. I just felt that are my rights. So I actually, yes, I got it.
We were unable to speak with the school manager and the principal. However, Senator Moses Benguche, who is the chair of the board for the Methodist schools across the country, granted News 5 an interview after speaking with the distraught teacher.
I'm happy that I did not only reach out to Mrs. Sigeri, but also the administrators of the school, what we would call the local manager, and the principal herself. And so I'm happy that I had that opportunity from where I sit to have been able to do so, and to just be able to garner and ascertain from, as I said, both sides of the spectrum as to exactly what transpired, what is taking place at St. Luke.
Admittedly, the video is emotionally charged. The viral nature of the shares it has received has certainly caught the attention of the management, and according to Bishop Benguche, everything will be done to provide support for Isagiri and remedy the situation.
I must say a very emotional video that comes from an individual, and there are different ways, I suppose, in which an individual speaks. And I suppose that would have been one of them. I am certain that as a management and from where I sit, I want to be able to share with the general public that we do try to listen. And as much as is possible, we try to ensure that we get all sides of the story as we speak to general matters of this nature. And this one would have been no different, but I must agree that it was an emotional video that no doubt has captured the management's attention.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isana Cayetano.
Deputy Mayor Micah Goodin was cleared of criminal charges by the police department over the weekend following a shooting incident on Saturday morning that left 20-year-old Tay Medina with a graze to the neck. Goodin claims that he did not discharge his licensed firearm. However, he has had to surrender the weapon for ballistics testing, along with 2 others that were confiscated from Tariq James and Kenyon Tillett. While an investigation into the matter continues, Goodin came forward on social media on Monday evening with his account of what transpired after an evening on the entertainment strip on Friday. According to the counselor, he was merely attempting to diffuse tension between 2 groups of young men, and while driving away from the scene of the verbal exchange, a barrage of gunshots was fired. Police say that 3 shots were fired from Goodin's Nissan Rogue, while 4 shots were fired in return from Tillett's licensed firearm. Those bullets shattered the back glass of Goodin's SUV, injuring Shadow Youth Councillor Medina on the neck. A different version of what took place that night is also being put forward by someone who claims to be Medina's brother. He alleges that Medina was not taken to the hospital for medical treatment, and that he was instead dropped off at his residence, and that his mother subsequently took him to the hospital. In a release issued by the Belize City Council this evening, City Hall denounced gun violence. It also said, quote, "The incident that unfolded over the past weekend involving the deputy mayor and a shadow youth councillor infringes on our core values, that of protecting our women, children, and youth while providing an environment that fosters amity," unquote. 6 residents of San Vicente village in Toledo are hospitalized and are being monitored in Punta Gorda after they began exhibiting symptoms of being poisoned. Today, CEO in the Ministry of Rural Transformation, Community Development, Labor and Local Government confirmed that the water system in the village had been deliberately contaminated by a resident. It is not known at this time what triggered this action, but it is a frightening situation, because lives could have been lost by those who ingested the contaminated water. Fortunately, the ministry responded quickly to flush out both reservoirs and distribution lines. This morning, News 5 spoke with CEO Valentino Schall about the incident, which endangered the lives of the entire village.
Yesterday morning, we received reports from the village leaders of San Vicente to our ministry that they believe that their water system was deliberately contaminated with some chemical agents. And so we responded and went to the village to find out what is taking place. And based on what was found, the public health inspector was called from PG to come and inspect the system. And based on the advice given, the system was flushed out. The reservoirs were cleaned and the lines were also flushed out. So that was the first step.
Who could want to do something like this? It would affect the entire village. Who would want
Yes,
to do this?
it endangers the lives of the entire village. And we have no knowledge of the motive of the person or persons who may be responsible for this, why they would do such a thing. It is absolutely heinous. And we hope that the villagers are okay. We have had some villagers who have shown associated symptoms of ingesting something. And so we have helped them as well to get to the hospital in PG, and the doctors there are monitoring them, and so far they seem to be stable. But this is very rare in these villages, especially in Toledo, where people are always working together and supporting each other, and so this is an extremely rare but disturbing event that occurred yesterday.
Today, personnel from the ministry are on the ground in San Vicente village monitoring and assessing the situation and providing clean and safe water to the residents. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has since certified that the water system is fit for reuse and that it will return on stream shortly. CEO Valentino Schall says that the police have 1 person detained.
This is a pretty serious matter, so we also assisted the village leaders in filing an official report with the police The police, fortunately, responded very quickly, and they have detained one person whom they suspect may have been responsible for this deliberate, what appears to be a deliberate contamination of the water system. We have taken corrective action. We have involved the police, and we have also involved the Ministry of Health in helping us to get the system back online.
How many persons were affected?
Well, the whole village is affected right now because they don't have water, and so we are now moving water there today to make sure that they have water. Yesterday, people with symptoms, there were about 6 persons with symptoms, and they are being treated at the PG hospital.
Now, has it been established what was put in the reservoir, the water system that these people ingested?
The police are investigating, but initial reports are it could have been a herbicide of some sort. Some chemical agent, but the police will determine exactly what occurred.
The debate on the Trade Licensing Bill 2022 continues to rage on social media and in other quarters, despite the government's effort to clarify what it means for small businessmen and women, entrepreneurs and street-side vendors. CEO Valentino Schall of the Ministry of Rural Transformation, Community Development, Labor and Local Government told News 5 that established businesses, including food trucks, are already in the system as peddlers and have been paying for a trade license. The bill does not change this, and the status quo remains the same. As far as entertainment, promoters and organizers would have to pay a fee of $200 for concerts and live performances. CEO Schall spoke of the nuance of the new tax regime.
This trade license isn't for the small vendors. The peddlers in the city who are already paying some sort of fee to the city council, for instance, that simply continues. There's no change. No other peddlers outside of that are being contemplated for any type of fee, especially in rural areas. That is not the case, no.
So they don't have anything to worry about, really?
No, they have nothing to worry about.
So who does it affect?
Well, this law is for established businesses. That was the whole point of the law, to provide clarity and predictability in how trade license fees are determined. That's what the law is intended for. Peddlers, as you mentioned, are part of the system as it is now, and will continue to be a part of the system. So it's not really bringing anything new in terms of taxes or fees. It's really just updating the current law that we have. It's mainly for established businesses. It is not targeting small businesses at all, or micro enterprises, or people who are doing these things. That this is not for them.
So does it apply to maybe like food trucks that are out there?
It applies to people who move about with their trucks, yes. But again, some of those people are considered peddlers and are already paying into the system. So it's not really what I think some people are taking it out to be. But if there are some things in the law that need a bit more clarity, we will make sure that that is done to ensure that people are not unduly being affected, and of course not worried about whether they're going to have to pay extra, because that is not the intent nor the purpose of the bill. It's only an established business of 600 square foot and above who will be now paying trade licenses in rural areas. Every other type of business is exempted, so that doesn't affect them.
Coming up, members of the St. Francis Credit Union demand the reinstatement of the general manager. Details when we return.
Hello, friends. This is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "For we know that when this earthly tent we live in is taken down, that is, when we die and leave this earthly body, we will have a house in heaven, an eternal body made for us by God Himself and not with human hands." Recently, I read an unusual letter written by a dear child of God facing death to his body he had inhabited for many years, as he was about to move out of it into a more eternal one. He wrote, You and I have been together for a long time in a most intimate and valuable relationship. Now you have grown old. Your hearing and strength are failing. Your resistance to cold is diminishing. You cannot climb and run as you once did. In a word, you're running down. In a short time, you will cease to breathe and your heart will stop beating. When you can go no further, you will be returned to the substance of which you were made, and I shall continue on in that life where you are not needed. A power greater than you and I started us on this journey together. Your journey is nearing its end while my journey has scarcely begun. I know this to be true, for while you are feeble, I have never been more alive. Our separation, therefore, cannot be one of sadness, but will be one of joy. You are weary and want to stop. I am longing to alight from this slow vehicle and go on without you. Death will mean that your desire to stop is granted, and my longing is satisfied with this final move into my eternal body and home. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
The maritime industry is the main connector for global trade. Even in a worldwide pandemic, shipping has continued to transport more than 80% of world trade, including vital medical supplies, food, and other essential goods, critical for the COVID-19 response. World Maritime Day provides the opportunity to highlight shipping and other maritime activities in Belize and across the globe. The Belize Port Authority, Imarbe, and Belize Coast Guard invite you to join them for the virtual celebration of World Maritime Day under the theme Seafarers at the Core of Shipping's Future. Join the event on Channel 5, Facebook, or YouTube on Thursday, September 30th at 10 a.m.
We live in a world obsessed with the latest trends, fashions, and lifestyles, setting unrealistic expectations and wanting to alter everything about ourselves. How is this affecting our self-worth? What if we were able to silence all the noise and focus on what really matters? Join us right here for Sagebrush Church as we begin our new series, Identity Theft, where we will discuss how to live in a world with ever-changing standards of perfection.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
Last Friday, a group of about 25 members of the St. Francis Xavier Credit Union in Corozal Town staged a protest in front of the lending institution against what they allege are irregularities and unethical behavior that have been perpetrated by the current administration. Coupled with that claim is what they allege was the termination of the contract of the general manager, Rafael Dominguez. The credit union had issued a pair of press releases in which it denied that Dominguez was fired. The institution explained that Dominguez was on a 5-year contract that expired and was not renewed in the best interest of the credit union. But the members would have none of it and want to call their own special meeting to discuss that matter and the other burning issues. Everaldo Poc, a member of the credit union, explained that Rafael Dominguez was a good general manager who grew the institution.
We have already made it clear that termination was illegal, right? It was not the time yet. And what makes matters worse is that only an AGM can decide whether a manager stays or not. So that also, yeah. So it was illegal, completely illegal. And what we need to mention here also, because it's coming out in different kind of social media, at least in our district, is that he has been managing well. Well, for your information, during his 10 years of management, assets have grown from 53 million to 107 million. Membership has grown from 23,000 to 32,000 and growing. So there is no argument about its efficiency. That is why the majority of members want him back. And the board does not have the power to say that he is no longer our general manager.
The credit union, in one of its releases, had announced June 26th as the date for the AGM. Complete with elections of new officers, the release of the annual audit, and announcements of dividends and rebates. But Castillo explained that there still needs to be a special meeting, and she quoted from the Credit Union Act, which empowers the Credit Union Supervisory Committee as an autonomous body. And even though the membership is more than 32,000, Mayet said the Credit Union Act allows a special meeting to be called by even a small number of members.
Here is a copy of the Act. I think that as Supervisory Committee, we have the powers to call a special meeting. And right now, we have 2,000 members or a little bit more that are calling that special meeting set for the 29th of May of this year. When we call a meeting, the bylaws states that with 25 members, we can have our meeting. That's a quorum, 25 members, or signatures, sorry. 25 members can call a meeting, and we have over 2,000. Our laws, and we are going within our laws that dictate us how to go forward. It says that 25 members can trigger the special general meeting. 1,000 members is a quorum to an annual general meeting.
With village council elections being held in many communities across the country, the National Garifuna Council, the representative body for all Garifuna communities in Belize, has issued a release with respect to the politicization of the process at the micro level. In the statement issued on Friday, the NGC says, quote, "It does not support partisan politics because it has never positively impacted our people. As such, we are concerned about reports of non-Garinagu vying for office in one of our communities. NGC is encouraging our members and the wider community to exercise their rights and choose leadership that will represent the best interests of the Garinagu," unquote. News 5 spoke with the communications director for the National Garifuna Council earlier today.
What we have observed at the council is that within our communities, which have always been welcoming of non-Garinagu, we have seen a thrust by non-Garinagu to take up political leadership in our communities, which for us would not be such a bad thing if we saw that trust would have been in the best interests of our Garifuna communities. Unfortunately, what we see happening in our communities is that when certain persons get into positions of power, there is a threat to the preservation of Garifuna Duo in our Garifuna communities. And we do not see that happening in other communities. Other ethnic groups enjoy homogeneity in their communities. They're the only ones in their communities, so they might not even have this issue as a concern for them. We want to encourage our people to be supportive of Garinagu in Garifuna communities, because as an organization, that is a part of our mandate to promote Garifuna Duo. And one of the ways to promote Garifuna Duo is active citizenship in our Garifuna communities, and of course, active leadership in our Garifuna communities by Garinagu. So we simply are encouraging Garinagu to participate in the political process and to support Garinagu in leadership in Garifuna communities. That's what we essentially want, is for our people to come out and to support Garifuna people as leaders in Garifuna communities.
After the break, free education for youth apprentices at the Tubal Learning Center. But first, here is a look at the latest COVID-19 figures.
My name is Mirna and I am 38 years old. I am married and I have a 9-year-old daughter. I do everything that you do, it's just in a different way. I work here at the 501 Hub, it's a restaurant. My job mainly is to answer the phone, to make reservations. The challenges that I usually meet every day are numberless, but the one that I face mostly are transportation. Like if I'm in the bus, my husband is holding me already, and there's someone sitting right there. And then we will say, Miss, can I please have the seat? And she said, no, you need to find another seat. I am sitting here. But Miss, you have space. That's my bag there. I have experiences like that. That, to me, is real discrimination. People need to understand that we have the same rights as them. My philosophy in life is that you treat and you do to others the way you want people to do to you or to your children or family.
My name is Wilmer De La Rosa from Santa Elena Town. I am currently a student at Cayo, set for employment training. Enrolled in the electrical installation program. In late July 2021, I got a confirmation that I was a successful applicant and would be granted a scholarship from Social Security Board. It was one of the proudest moments for me. I felt very excited to start this new path in my life. So far on my journey as a Social Security Board scholar, my vocational technical scholarship has assisted me in achieving my life goals in so many ways. For one, it has renewed sense of purpose, another chance at professional development, and a start at a new career. This opportunity has paved the way for me to excel in life as an individual and as a member of society. Great things are coming after I graduate from SET. I can promise you that. Applying for a vocational technical scholarship through the Social Security Board is simple and easy. I would advise young people in need to apply. It is possible to create a fulfilling and fruitful life with a Social Security scholarship. Believe in yourself and your abilities and skills. I always say the key is to always keep an open mind and let your determination be your motivation.
Who offers the best home internet experience? The truth is, Digi, of course. DigiNet has the largest fiber network and the fastest speeds with the most reliable service. That's more learning, more earning, more gaming, more bonding, more sharing, getting more things done. And now, Diginet is even more affordable with the new entry plan, a 20 megabits per second fiber connection for just $49 monthly, and increased speeds in all plans. The truth is, only Digi has the ultimate home internet experience, with savings up to $270 when you bundle. Wireless and cable can't give you that. So what are you waiting for? Sign up or make the switch to DigiNet today to enjoy more speeds to get more done. Digi, or National Telecom.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special SmartStream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with SmartStream.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Did you know that today is recognized as the International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia? Over 130 countries worldwide commemorate, even though more than a quarter still criminalize same-sex acts. The day is used to celebrate sexual and gender diversity and to condemn the discrimination, violence, and stigma against members of the LGBTQ community in Belize and globally. Managing Director of Our Circle, Daricia Castillo, told News 5 that the LGBT community has made invaluable contributions to Belize. While strides have been made in terms of inclusivity, there is more work to be done.
It's actually an opportunity for the community, for the policymakers, the gatekeepers to actually take the time out to reflect on the progress that has been made towards working towards accepting and creating the inclusion of persons based on their sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression. We've seen here in Belize, and we must acknowledge that there has been small steps that has been made in regards to creating a Belize that is free and equal for everyone. But we must also acknowledge that there's more work that needs to be done. And I think it's very interesting that the Census 2022 is rolling out. I think it rolled out last week, and it ties into the Idaho theme, which is it's our bodies, our life, and our rights. And this is very important because we're at a point where we see Belize has made a big step in allowing LGBT-led households to be documented for the first time in the census. So for us, this is something very big that we're looking forward to, and we must give acknowledgement where it is due that a national effort is being made to be able to capture such a data. And for understanding the history of the LGBT movement, we know that it was data that actually took the terminology homosexual out of the definition of being a disease. So, like I said, we usually associate the LGBT issues to the health sector, but there's a lot, especially when it comes to the workplace.
The theme for International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia 2022 is Our Bodies, Our Lives, Our Rights. Measure your blood pressure accurately, control it, live longer. It's the theme for this year's World Hypertension Day, which is observed annually on May 17th. In an effort to raise awareness and promote hypertension prevention, detection, and control, the Ministry of Health and Wellness is continuing with its Salt Reduction Healthy Eating campaign. Nutritionist Robin Daly says that they are trying to educate cooks and food vendors on the dangers of excessive sodium use and to promote healthy cooking options.
Here, we are just advocating for persons to reduce sodium intake in particular, and to highlight the dangers of having high blood pressure and also what can cause high blood pressure. So today we did some testing with public officers, and we will continue our campaign that we have started last year. So last year we started on a salt reduction healthy eating campaign. It's a collaborative effort that we started with the public health unit for their food handlers program, certification program. So what we started to do is we would give a 20 minute to 25 minutes health talk to vendors, and we would ask them questions afterwards. So it's like a nutrition presentation about healthy eating, cooking foods with less sodium, how they can improve the nutrition content of their food.
Generally, the standard for normal blood pressure is 120/80. But the data shows that high blood pressure is one of the main risk factors for heart disease, referred to as the silent killer. Hypertension and by extension heart disease are among the leading cause of mortality, with 329 deaths over the last 5 years. So what are the risk factors of high blood pressure, and how can you identify it?
We do have a high prevalence of hypertension here in Belize. That's one of our highest cases of mortality and morbidity for the country. And as you may know, we look at the risk factors that promote hypertension. So persons that are overweight or obese is a risk factor. Having a diet high in sodium is a risk factor. Also, limited physical activity. Nutrition plays a very big role. So what you eat, for example, consuming alcoholic drinks, drinking foods, having drinks with caffeine, these are all things that increase blood pressure. So if people are more aware of these things, we believe that it can help us to reduce prevalence for hypertension. We normally have these services available where people can check their blood pressure, but what we've started to do now more often is to incorporate it at our health events or health fairs, our different activities where we interact with the general public. We try to do where we measure numbers. So we would say persons can check their weight to see where they are. We also always have blood pressure measurements available at the vaccination sites, at different testing sites. People have access to these, and we want people to use them more because hypertension is known as a silent killer. So many times your blood pressure is high. Some people have effects and others don't. So many persons might not even know their blood pressure is high. So some common symptoms are people would complain of headaches. People would have tightness in the back of their neck. Sometimes their left arm, chest pains. These are just some common symptoms people would have when their blood pressure is high. Mind you that many persons don't have any symptoms at all and their blood pressure is very high. So we just educate a lot on things that would raise your blood pressure and lifestyle factors that would raise your blood pressure, and try to ask people to become more conscious.
Other activities for this year include countrywide blood pressure and body mass testing and sharing of salt reduction tips. When we return, the media joins Tradewinds on firing range. But first, here is a weather forecast with data from the Belize Met Service.
May will be amazing at Benny's. Get amazing deals and great gifts from mom. We have Pyrex bakeware, Chicago cutlery knife sets, Corningware, Snapware, and the elegant yet durable Coral dinnerware sets at amazing prices. Check out our impressive line of Sankey appliances and much, much more. Take advantage of these amazing deals all May long only at Benny's, celebrating 75 years of quality and savings.
It's almost Mother's Day, and what better way to celebrate than with an awesome gift for your lovely mom from Samsung. Show your mom some love. Treat her to a Samsung A-series device. The affordable lineup includes the Galaxy A03 Core, A03s, A12, A22, A32, A52s, S20 FE, S21 FE, Galaxy Buds 2, and even the Tab A7 Lite and Tab A7 LTE. Every Galaxy purchase from an authorized reseller comes with a 1-year local warranty that will make mom love that Galaxy even longer. So head over to any of Samsung's official partners, including Cellular World, Digi, Unet's Home Center, Ibari, and Westrap, and show your mom how awesome she is this Mother's Day with a Samsung A-series phone or tablet.
1.5 years ago, the agriculture industry was on the brink of collapse, with farmers losing hope and money. Within months of taking office, a government of the People's United Party reopened the Big Falls rice mill in the Toledo district, closed for years, and regularized the export of cattle to Mexico. Today, with commitment and a bold plan, agriculture in Belize has become one of the country's primary revenue earners. Motivated by a commitment to grow what we eat, the government has placed focus on our farmers, providing an environment and unwavering support. In all sectors, from small vegetable farming to large-scale production of milk, grains, sugar, and livestock, the government has stood strong behind our productive sector. In 1.5 years, we have done so much together. Let us continue on this strong record. Forward together, we will continue to deliver on Plan Belize.
Compostable plastics. To understand what a compostable plastic is, we need to know that composting is a natural way to recycle decomposed organic material like oranges or banana peels. So, a compostable plastic is similar to the banana peel in the sense that it also undergoes biological decomposition in a compost site and doesn't leave any toxic residue. In fact, it breaks down into carbon dioxide, water, inorganic compounds, and biomass at a similar rate of compostable materials. This is great because once properly disposed of, compostable plastic food packaging would be broken down in a manner much kinder to the environment compared to plastics. The recycled materials would return to Earth quickly and safely as soil when disposed of in the right environmental conditions and temperatures. It's important to note that for decomposition to occur, all compostable products must reach a sanitary landfill, where there is proper management of the waste through disposal and treatment. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
In the event of a national or regional security crisis, Belize will be able to depend on its counterparts from across 22 nations participating in Tradewinds 2022. The 2-week exercise gives participants an opportunity to train together in various exercises, including maritime training, jungle training, cyber training, and maritime engineering training. These drills are taking place within the span of 300 miles in Belize and Quintana Roo, Mexico. The Hattieville Gallery Range in the Belize district is one such training ground being utilized. Today, the press was given access. News 5's Paul Lopez has the story.
Today, reporters got an inside look at one of the training elements of Tradewinds 2022. Our journey began at the Police Training Academy in Belmopan, where a joint interagency coordinating group is being hosted. After reporters were briefed, it was time to board the U.S. Army's CH-47 Chinook helicopter. Passengers were required to put on earplugs before boarding the helicopter to prevent any possible ear damage. The 33-passenger U.S. Army CH-47 Chinook helicopter is operated across Central America by Bravo 228 Company. The pilot in command was Robert Colley.
Bravo Company 228, we support all of Central America with training exercises, any kind of HADAR support throughout the area. We're out here this time for Tradewinds in particularly, making sure that people get where they need to go to and from, anything we're asked to do essentially.
This iconic military aircraft was our transportation to the Hattieville Gallery Range in the Belize district. It is a 15-minute ride from Belmopan over pristine jungle landscape. Upon arrival, Major Rogelio Ramirez provided a briefing.
What we are having here is people on the range. They are doing live firing, as you might see and hear at the back. But I must mention that this exercise commenced 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks now. And we have about 378 BDF soldiers participating in this exercise. Members of different countries are here sharpening their skills, sharpening their capabilities when it comes to shooting and marksmanship. So that's the main thing that is happening here today in the Hattieville Gallery Range.
Training exercises like this allow these officers to be able to competently utilize their weapons during operations, regardless of what weapon they are using. The multinational approach to training during the Tradewinds exercise provides an opportunity for participants to build capacity for possible joint operations in the future. Major James Suber is the Tradewinds combat advisor.
This exercise is a little more combat related. It's obviously more geared to security and keeping keeping the peace type environment. But there are other exercises that we work with when it comes to natural disasters and responding to that. And because we all know that there's a security aspect to natural disasters as well, and making sure there's that continuous security.
Shoots a 223 or 5.56, sorry. And here we have a selector switch. Goes from semi, which means it shoots one bullet per trigger pull, and you flip it back one more. It's automatic. Shoots until you let go or the mag's empty.
Another aspect of this is the interoperability, and I think the Colonel earlier in the briefing mentioned that that is an important aspect. Also the integration, if you have an issue, you have something that you want to know, you have a direct number to call one of the planners in Belize, a WhatsApp call, a text or whatever. So that is an important aspect, the networking aspect. And all of this is culminating, and you can see it here, and you can see the different bunches of soldiers from the different countries interacting and socializing and having a good time whilst in a training environment.
Though these are soldiers that are coming together from 22 different countries, the philosophies and mindsets that make one a soldier transcends the different cultures. They all share similar ideas in leadership, loyalty, and teamwork. After the 2-hour visit, where reporters got a better insight on this one aspect of the Tradewinds exercise, it was once again time to board the helicopter to head back to Belmopan. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Another aspect of the Tradewinds exercise is a first-of-its-kind certified jungle training being hosted by the Belize Defense Force. For the past 4 weeks, 13 soldiers from across the region have been in the wilderness learning jungle and survival skills. The training was designed to be one of the most arduous exercises a soldier can take on. Leading the charge was Captain Clifford Avila of the Belize Defense Force. We caught up with Avila in Hattieville.
The training that these guys have been going through is a very rigorous training. As they say, the jungle is no easy place to survive. The jungle is no easy place to live. These guys have endured training. They have been trained on survival. They've been trained in different physical aspects. When these guys they came here, they did not expect the terrain and the jungle to be like this. It's an area that's very mountainous with primary jungle, and there are several things that they have to go through to become a basic jungle warrior. Things that include physical assessments that they must pass. One of the physical assessments that they must pass is a hill that we call the Death Trail, which is the Benil Kemil, which you have to make it up that hill and back down in a time of 20 minutes. And that is also the area where they have their classrooms. Some of the other physical assessments include the annual personal fitness test. We have a rock march, 8 miles physical test. We have survival training that we teach them that they must go through. We have tactics that they must go through. We have rappelling that they did from the helo. And we also have small river crossing trainings that we also do in the jungle. So that's what these guys were enduring for the past couple weeks.
Throughout this time, did any of the men ever break?
These guys, when we went to visit them, and as they can tell you, if you ever meet any one of them, is that many of them met their breaking points, but they endured. As rule number 5 of the jungle says, learn to bear pain and discomfort without complaining and be moderate in your necessities. And that's what these guys did. When we commenced the course on the 22nd of April, we started off with a total of 19 students, and today it was 13 of them that made it out.
Tradewinds 2022 will come to an end on Thursday of this week with a joint exercise at the Police Training Academy in Belmopan. Plans are already in the works for Tradewinds 2023, which will be hosted by Guyana. Major Subber told us about the advantage Belize's landscape offered as one of the host nations of Tradewinds 2022.
First of all, it's a beautiful country. Absolutely amazing people. Just a great experience to be a part of. Your landscape offers great terrain for us to train in, and because it offers a lot of different terrain. We've got the ability to get really a lot of quality training where it's just not just a straight open field, or if it's you got a little bit of mountainous terrain, we've got a little bit of hills, we've got a lot of course, you have a jungle environment, the maritime environments there with some of the riverine systems, and then of course the offshore keys that offer up training for some of the dive teams as well. So I think it's an optimal spot to get a holistic training with our partner forces.
Just ahead, Belize Bureau of Standards celebrates 30 years when we return.
National Agriculture and Trade Show is back. Visit the Next Gen booth for exclusive deals and discount on our Next Gen service bundles, high-speed internet, and more. Come experience a cinema setup and watch the Champions League finals on a big screen. We're bringing you great service and entertainment to the 2022 showgrounds. We'll see you there. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes, go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
Get ready. Universal Hardware is doing it again with a mega sale in Belize City from May 19th to May 21st. Enjoy deep discounts on Leafan motorcycles, Echo chainsaws, Shindaiwa brush cutters, Makita power tools, Easy Care paint, Pali flooring, Toolcraft hand tools, Sankey AC units, and much more.
Grand raffle on May 21st. Don't miss out.
Universal Hardware, the preferred solutions provider.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, Smart Stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
Empowering women isn't just an idea or a concept.
Women are an integral part of all workforces, including the maritime industry. For years, they have contributed to the success of shipping lines, ports, onshore services, and more. Yet today, women only represent 1.2% of the global seafarer workforce. On Wednesday, the Belize Port Authority, the Belize Coast Guard, and the International Merchant Marine Registry of Belize invite you to join them in the first celebration of the International Day for Women in Maritime, celebrating under the theme, Training, Visibility, Recognition, supporting a barrier-free working environment. The event will highlight issues like the need for visibility of women in the maritime community and the many contributions women have made. It will also recognize the women already making waves in Belize. Join the ceremony live on Channel 5, Facebook, or YouTube on Wednesday, May 18th at 9 a.m. Established in 2001, the Tubal Trade and Vocational Institute in Ladyville has been preparing Belize's youth to make a living marketing a trade that they learn at the school. Now, the founders of the institution, husband and wife Lyndon and Laverne Bailey, are doing a selfless deed, offering full scholarships, each worth $700, to pay all youth who want to learn a trade but can't pay for it. News 5's Marian Ali visited the institute today to find out how that is possible and found the following story.
You might hear about scholarships being offered for certain courses in education almost every day, but there are hardly enough learning institutions that go out and seek potential youth apprentices who would otherwise not have the means to pay, and encourage those youths to sign up for a scholarship. That is exactly what the Tubal Trade and Vocational Institute in Ladyville is doing in these hard times for parents and their teenage sons and daughters who want to learn a trade, be it in computer repair, electrical work, cabinet making, catering and hospitality, or automotive repair. Founder of the institution, Lyndon Bailey, told News 5 that he had already foreseen this day would come and he prepared himself for it so that he could be in a position to offer the free vocational courses to who cannot afford to pay for their training.
I know that long time that it was going to come to this where the students will not be able to enter the school if they don't have finance. So we went the extra mile and we said that, you know what, we will take them in, and after we will see how we can find scholarship for these students.
Bailey explained that the institution is run on a subvention from the government, on tuition that is collected from those who can pay, and from monies he makes when he sells houses built by the school's masonry class.
I am a building contractor. We build houses and we sell them. If you look at the back, we have houses. And because I believe in our young people, I'm there with them to hold up this school. Wherever the school short, I come in. That's where I come in. I put in about 50,000. I feel about 50,000.
The man who goes hunting for students to join the institute is the school's counselor and Bible teacher, Linsford Garbott.
I would actually go house to house and talk to families, and then I go on the basketball court. You know, that's where you meet a bunch of young people hanging out, and you would be surprised to find out half of those that are on the basketball court are not in school. And I let them know what we are planning and what we are planning for them. And if they are interested, if they are serious about, you know, having a career, having something that you can be independent, then, you know, yeah, speaking in regards to the trade and offering them the different trade that is being offered at the school here, man, I was so surprised that some of these young men, you know, that they welcome that, they sat with me, they talk with me, and, you know, they call up their mom and dad and says, guess what, this is happening.
The Vocational Institute is also heading in a new direction, its founder shared with us.
We're going to teach them how to operate heavy equipment. That is one. We're going to teach them how to manufacture things. Because we build houses, and most of the time we can use these young people to prepare all the doors, and they have to be sanded. We have to make them ready so that when we install them in the houses, they are ready. So we can use these young people to do this sort of work.
The students who leave the 2-year course are assisted with finding jobs that they can market their trade. The ones we spoke with had ambitious plans with the training they are receiving.
If it wasn't for the school, I basically would at home to do nothing. I find it very good because I don't be wasting time.
Okay, so you'll be here for 2 years studying this trade. What happens after that?
Well, I definitely will find a job after because I've loved electrician from I was young, very young. At a very young age, I wanted to be an electrician.
What do you cook?
Chicken, pastries, rice, cupcakes, a lot of stuff, meat pie.
All right. And then when you leave here, what's your plan?
To help my family grow their business. They actually have a restaurant.
I would like to open up a vegan restaurant in Belize so that Belizean people can come and eat more healthier than just the regular like fried chicken and what's not. You know, Belizean like fried chicken.
When I reach home, I could literally say, Ma, I'll come home and make a little cake for your birthday or something. So that'll be like a good.
And the food that these young talents prepare daily and for special occasions helps to generate funds to keep their doors open.
We have the NEMO office and the agriculture office next door, so the workers will come and buy food as well as the construction workers from Mr. Bailey's construction.
And from what these students make, you also do catering?
Yes, we do. We did the catering for Ladyville Highlights wedding. We did for Parents' Night for the Canaan High School.
So you do for special occasions, but what does the menu look like sometimes?
Okay, whatever they order. Sometimes they would order lamb, or lasagna, turkey dinner, yes. Yes.
Whatever they order,
whatever they order,
students can make.
Yes, they can make it.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
A man who was found guilty of the manslaughter of his common-law wife was sentenced to 3 years in prison today. Andrew Callis will only spend another 18 months since he has already spent half the time awaiting trial. The incident happened on May 14, 2019, at a cabana in Big Falls Village, Toledo. The couple was getting ready to travel to Belize City when a handgun licensed to Calais was discharged, hitting the deceased Francisca Noemi Canceres in the right side of her upper back. Calais went to seek help from a neighbor and explained that an accident had just happened, that the gun accidentally discharged, and that his girlfriend was wounded. Canceres died at the Punta Gorda Town Hospital. The case was tried by Supreme Court Justice Antoinette Moore. Calais was defended by attorney Dickie Bradley, and the case was presented by Senior Crown Counsel Javier Chan. The Belize Bureau of Standards, the national standards body responsible for promoting efficiency and competitive production in goods and services, is celebrating 30 years of existence. On Monday, a brief ceremony was held to commemorate the milestone. Here's a brief clip from that event.
For a mandate as big as ours, much has been given, and indeed, much has been required. To carry a 30-year mandate such as ours represents nothing more than hard work, dedication, commitment, and drive, not to mention talent and skills to arrive at this juncture. Perhaps an oxymoron, but while we have labored 30 years, our work has only just begun. We say this to remind ourselves that our work is never done and that there is really no time for us to settle having come this far. While it is easy to be caught up with the rigors of unfinished work, I believe we can afford ourselves on this occasion a moment to reflect on the significance of this historical event as we pay tribute to the Bureau's remarkable development and impact since its inception in 1982.
Today at the Mexico Sports Center in Belize City, tourism police officers were engaged in technical training. It is organized by the Belize Tourism Board to instruct the officers on how to address crime situations involving tourists. It includes apprehending armed perpetrators without incident. Shihan Ray Kelly of the House of Shotokan Karate is the defensive tactics instructor. He tells News 5 that today is about teaching the officers the guidelines, and on Friday, they will put that knowledge to test through various scenarios.
Okay, put it on person. Secure the weapon. That's the evidence. Secure the evidence. Once you secure the evidence, you tell him, put the hands in the small of your back. Tell him, put your hand in the small of your back.
Contact and cover. That means that they have encountered a subject that is non-compliant, armed and dangerous, and they have to effect an arrest. The subject just robbed a tourist. And now the police have encountered, the tourism police have encountered that subject. But that subject again is armed and dangerous, and now they must effect that arrest to again secure that bad guy in this case and then get him into prosecutions. The police must take command at all times. So that is what the officer have is in his power, is that voice command. Once the weapon is out, bad guy is looking at two weapons pointing downrange at him. Bad guy has to make that decision. Do I want to live or do I want to die? And if he wants to die, he makes that decision. Obviously, it will be a justifiable shooting. Friday, they'll be putting all of the in-house training together, and then we'll throw scenarios at them. Vehicle stop. Not necessarily that the tourism was robbed. Now what happened with the tourist is in a taxi, hostage. So we'll be going down that alley, we're going down that road and instructing and training these officers how to respond to critical situations such as those. Again, the objective is the safety of the tourist that comes to this country. And the commissioner right now is very heavy on getting the law enforcement trained. So this is a critical segment because, again, these officers come in contact with foreigners, people who are visiting this country for the first time. And if they have a negative experience, i.e. being robbed or the police not doing their job in a professional way, it leaves a negative stigma for the country of Belize.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.